We are facing the LA Clippers tonight at 5:30 Pacific time. First game in the Chase Center. We're starting our regular season at home, and then we have 2 more games there this week. We're going to talk about the game tonight, and I'm going to tell you the 2 guys that needs to step up tonight. It's going to be a challenging game. The Clippers finished in 4 in the West Conference last season. They lost Paul George, it's true, and Kawhi Leonard is injured, but James Harden has been playing a lot of minutes and has been playing well. So the Clippers right now, they lost their first game against the Phoenix Suns in the overtime, and they won last night a difficult game against the Denver Nuggets. So these guys here will need to put intensity in the game tonight. Like obviously, you're facing a team that didn't rest. You rested a day extra. So intensity and taking advantage of the depth of our roster is going to be key. So James Harden is leading the Clippers, and he has played 39 minutes averaging these 2 games. It's a lot of minutes for a veteran. And when you compare, for example, with Stephen Curry that has been able to rest and Draymond Green, you expect that the Clippers won't be able to match the intensity of the Warriors, considering our second unit and Moses Moody coming in that 3rd unit as well. So that's going to be a path for the win tonight. The Clippers beat us last season 3 out of the 4 games. So the Warriors will face something that has been challenging for them, but they are favored tonight. We have the advantage of our being at home. We also have the fact that the Clippers just came from a very difficult game. And if you're attending the game, by the way, the Warriors will give this opening, this t-shirt is the opening game, so you're going to have the opportunity to also catch that gift. If you're not there, you're going to need the NBA League Pass to watch the game. Remember, 5:30 tonight. We will be here tomorrow commenting and mentioning about the game, the challenge, everything that happened. So, who needs to step up? For me, the first one and the most obvious one is Jonathan Kuminga. He hasn't played well these first 2 games. I think he's one of the few Warriors players, if not the only one, that didn't show up like really. He has really been so far from what we expect. And remember, Jonathan Kuminga bet on himself. And when I say that is because he's expecting and he wants that max extension. The max extension is a $225 million contract. And he's not getting that unless he really becomes an all-star. That's in my opinion. 2 things that needs to happen. He becomes an all-star and the Warriors are a really deep playoff contender. So the Kuminga needs to step up. This is going to be one of the difficult games. Obviously, we play the Blazers and the Utah Jazz, great wins, and we obviously blowout wins is what we would like really enjoy, and even more than what we expected. But this is the first opponent that we face that is really challenging, considering the last season, right? Obviously, things could be different, but considering last season, the Clippers are a strong candidate, a strong Western Conference competitor for the Warriors. So it's time for these guys to show up that they can, when it's needed and really matter, he can also be a key player, a second scorer, a third scorer, adding Andrew Wiggins if it's the case, but those 20 points that makes a difference in a game. So I do expect a lot more from Jonathan Kuminga. I have no doubts that he has a chip on his shoulder right now to show more because everyone has been doing well in the games when you look at the second unit, and he might even lose space if he doesn't do it. So I expect him to use his athleticism, his youth, like to really put pressure on the Clippers defense and take advantage that they are not fully rested. And the other guy is Stephen Curry. Why Stephen Curry? It's not that he didn't play well. He almost averaged a double-double in one of these games. And he has been very unselfish on making sure that everyone plays. So I do think that he didn't play those playoff games, Stephen Curry, but he played well. But he's going to face another all-star level player, superstar, James Harden. And it's in those moments that I expect to balance that and show who is better, show who can take more advantage. Remember, James Harden is probably one of the guys that hates the Warriors the most. If it wasn't for the Warriors, he probably would have at least 1 ring right now, right? He was part of that Rockets that together with Chris Paul faced the Warriors twice in the playoffs in 2017, 18, and 18, 19, and they lost. So he definitely, like, he's a guy that he's going to try to show as much as he can in this game and he doesn't rest if needed. He's gonna play those 30 plus, 35 plus minutes if needed, and he's a very big threat. Like he's always scoring those close to 30 points. So I expect Stephen Curry to balance that and show that he's also a super all-star level and that he show up when it matters the most, as he has been doing in his career. And talking about Stephen Curry, I want to show how he has been unselfish, right? So I do think that he needs to show up more, and he can, and he's able. He has all we know Stephen Curry, but it's also how much, like how he keeps making everyone involved. And Buddy Hield mentioned about him. Like Buddy Hield is one of the best shooter that we have seen in the league in a long time. Has scored more 3 points than even Stephen Curry. We saw how much firepower he brings to the table with those 2 games of 22 and 27 points. And still, he's saying how much he's learning from Steph. So if you see the comments, he's basically saying like, he's the most humble superstar I have been around. I look basketball in a different way now that I'm around him and learning from him. He also mentioned this year that about the arc and the shooting. And we have seen those guys speaking, and I mentioned here before how much shooting IQ you have in that conversation. But even being a really strong, sharp shooter, he's saying how much Stephen Curry like really brings to the table and shared this, right? So it's going to be a difficult game tonight. The Warriors can definitely catch that third win if they come with intensity, that second unit showing up as they have been doing so far. It's going to be a more difficult game than the first 2, and that's time for the Warriors to show that they are for real, that they're not playing around, that they will be be competitive even against the strong teams and not just against the bottom feeders. So they play tonight, and then they play 2 other games at home this week to wrap October's schedule against the New Orleans Pelicans. Another challenging game against Zion, CJ McCollum, and Brandon Wiggins. So it's definitely time. If the Warriors catch this win tonight, and they potentially get a 4 win against the New Orleans Pelicans in the first game, it gives you more flexibility to rest some veterans, to not like overthink on that second game because you're already with a really good record. And the league has been very competitive. If you haven't been seeing the games, you had a lot of surprising results. You had games like last night that the Detroit Pistons gave a lot of hard work to the Boston Celtics, or the Lakers beating the Minnesota. So the league is very open right now, and the Warriors are starting well. I do expect them to do their best, put intensity, and we can catch that third win tonight. I want to know your opinion. Leave in the comments if you think the Warriors are favored, and we're going to see each other tomorrow with the analysis. Bye.